Glory be to Jesus. We give him praise and we thank him for his mercies renewed unto us every morning. There is a story in 2 Kings chapter 4 verse 1 going. It's about Elisha and the widow. A certain woman of the wives of the prophets a certain woman of the wives of the sons of the prophets, that's loaded, cried out to Elisha. Now let me break that down. Elijah was a prophet, but he still had what we call the fathering grace to nurture, to guide, to impact. And he did that with Elisha. But when Elisha was of age, carried a mantle, he had a double portion. What it meant was that whatever Elijah did, Elisha did double. So there were about 16 miracles. Elisha did 32. So the grace on Elisha was double that which was on Elijah. So Elisha had prophets, sons. So a certain woman of the wives of the sons of the prophets. So it was like the school of the prophets for Elisha. He had prophets he was training. So one of them died. And look at your servant, my husband, is dead. And you know that your servant feared the Lord. The prophet, he was a prophet. He received tutelage under Elisha, a great prophet. So the impact was great. He feared the Lord. He humbled himself under a prophet to be trained. He was anointed. And the creditor is coming to take my son, 2 sons, to be his slaves. Okay? My point is, you can be anointed, you can fear God, you can walk in all the ways of God and still be in debt. This is a typical example. I'm only introducing you to the subject. When it comes to money, you need to work in a way that you don't leave this kind of legacy. Now, this would taint the legacy of the prophet because he was a man of God, but he was indebted. And now the creditor is coming to take his 2 sons as his slave. Now, the work of the devil is to push you to the corner. That even though from the beginning it says sons of the, you are a son of God, the devil's agenda is to push you ultimately to become a slave. Now, when you are a slave, you are engaged, and whatever you want to do for the Lord, for the kingdom, you will not be able to do. So when you are pushed into debt, you may want to support kingdom agenda. You may want to buy land, a microphone, support God's work. But because you are in debt, you cannot do it. Now, this thing is spiritual, it's not physical. Money matter is spiritual. Because Jesus spoke about the kingdom, he spoke about making profit, he spoke about sowing and investment. And this is the servant of the Lord who is he did not make any plan to come out of debt. So he transferred his debt onto his children. Now they must become slaves. See, in the book of Psalm 105, something happened. I'll not read it. What happened was that the children of Israel, the Bible says, when they were coming out, Psalm 105 verse 37, he also brought them out with silver and gold, and there was no feeble among his tribe. What's the point? The point is that your deliverance, your salvation is incomplete if you are in debt. So when he was bringing Israel out of bondage, they carried silver, they carried gold. If you are in debt, make the effort to come out of debt. I pray for you that you find grace to make the necessary arrangement, steps to come out of debt. That this year, What pushed you into death, you don't repeat the same. May grace locate you to walk in the ways of God and to come out of death. This is Pastor Edamado. God bless you.